let's talk about the definition. We'll break down the definition so that it's not necessary you have to learn it by heart. Definitely not. It's more about having an understanding of the subject. Yes, it's about having understanding. So, psychological tendency. It's a mental thing. Yes. Your attitude is a mental thing. You exhibit because you have a tendency to behave in certain ways. Yes. So that's why when someone said behavior, I did say it. Character, yes. So that's what. First, it's a psychological thing. It's not a physical thing. So it's a psychological tendency that is expressed. You express that tendency by evaluating a certain object. You take a particular object and you show some like or dislike towards it. Any vegetarians over here? You're a vegetarian. You've never had non-veg in your life? Never had non-veg in your life. So, I don't know about him, but till the age of 10, I was a complete vegetarian. Till the age of 10, I was a complete vegetarian, and I could not even take egg. Forget boiled egg or something. You know, the egg mixed in cakes. That smell comes, I'll start vomiting. I was never invited to birthday parties. Clearly, I will start vomiting. So, the moment the egg is brought in, I'll be like, I'll be in the next room. You finish the cutting and everything. You give me that mango juice, I'll drink it and go. Take your present. Please don't call me for that egg. That is how I was raised. Okay, so I could not even tolerate the smell of egg. Now, I partake in everything that runs, swims, jumps, floats. I partake in everything. Okay. So, my attitude towards egg earlier was in disfavor. Yes. So, how did I evaluate cake? Now, that's the reason I asked whether you are a vegetarian. Now, at this age, you have no issues with others eating non-veg. But maybe a few years back, you will have some kind of like, okay, you guys can eat it, just don't bring it near me, because you may not be used to that smell, that intense scent that comes from non-veg. So naturally you develop a dislike for it because you are not used to it. Yes. Okay, let's leave veg and non-veg. There are certain cultures around the world where they eat raw meat. Yes. Where they eat raw fish, where they eat raw pork, where they eat raw beef, which they do eat it. And the moment I say it's raw, half of your mouth went like, why? It's their culture. Our attitude towards that is in disfavor. You evaluated that particular object or scenario or cultural experience with a degree of disfavor. Why? Because you are not used to it. There are many reasons for it. There are many reasons for it. Yes. You see some, I don't know whether maybe you've gone to hospitals, you see people who are critical. Definitely your attitude is going, you will be feeling sad. Yes. You won't be like, hey, great, good job. You won't say that. You don't do that. Why? Because that is not how your body reacts. That's not how society has conditioned us. Yes. That's the difference. I think now you have an understanding. Yes. So it is a psychological tendency. That's the first thing you need to realize. It's a psychological tendency. Always break down your definition. It's a psychological tendency. And you evaluate an object. Yes, you evaluate something. You don't have to write this. I'm just breaking down the definition. You evaluate something. You evaluate the particular object or scenario or culture, whatever. You evaluate it. You weigh it in a weigh balance. Sometimes you like it, sometimes you don't like it. Yes. First time you try junk food. First time you try some food which you've never had in your life. Most of us may not remember our childhood, but if you have some you've seen small babies or kids or something, you give them for the first time, you give them something sweet, their face just brightens up. They're eating it for the first time. So they have a favorable attitude towards it. Give them something spicy, they don't have a favorable attitude. Yes. So they evaluate it. They evaluate that object with some degree. It's not like completely they hate it or completely they like it. There is a degree, you know, it's like a progress. Now, what do you say? There are people who are cleaning the manhole. No, that is the reason I had this, I was delayed. There was a manhole cleaning happening. So, a mission was cleaning it. Okay, the mission was cleaning, the road was blocked. So, I'm sure that you've seen instances of people going down the manhole and clearing the blockages. Yes. Do you feel like going and hugging them? But do you respect the job that they're doing? There is a degree of disfavor, but is it extreme? No. At the same time, you see a dead body. Do you go and hug it? No. Do you respect it? Yes, of course, if it's some relative. But it's not like that other thing, right? There is a more of a respect towards that occupation. Here, it's simply a dead body. There is no degree of favor. It's completely disfavor. So it keeps varying. It keeps varying. You may like a faculty, you may not like a faculty. Forget this. I'm sure you all like the college faculty. The moment I say this, some faculty's face flashes in your mind. This guy, this lady was good. And that was the opposite side of the spectrum too. Chorian. The moment he comes into the class, all that mood is gone. You'll be like, I'll rather walk out of the class. I don't want your attendance. I'll skip today's class. There are people like that too. Yes, there are people like that. So, and there are the neutral people. Okay, fine. I'm bored. I'll sit in class today. I don't have attendance. Therefore, I'll be sitting in your class today. Today, Vikram did not release. So, I'll sit in your class. If Vikram is releasing today, tata bye bye. I'll be going. That's how it goes. Yes. So, there are neutral people, neutral faculty, favored faculty, unfavorable faculty. Yes. And the degree keeps varying. Degree keeps varying. So, again, your attitude will be expressed. You have a tendency to evaluate the object with some degree of favor, disfavor. Did you understand this? Break down your definitions and learn it. Don't sit and by heart. If you have a breakdown of your definitions and you understand it, it's easy to keep in mind. Okay. Next point we learned, it has to do with character, unlike aptitude, which has more to do with competence. Character is very important for your understanding attitude or expressing your attitude. A person, can you give me some character traits? Sure that you've heard of characters, some character traits. Honest, person of integrity, punctual, very clean. Yes, these are all some good character traits we've seen. There's the opposite character traits too. Dishonest, always lazy, procrastinating, corrupt to the core. These are all examples you can give on the opposite side. So, these values or these traits determine that person's attitude. A person who is never on time will obviously have very less value for your time too. A person who is not at all maintaining his personal hygiene will have very poor understanding of hygiene of others and hygiene around that person too. Yes. So again, these are all matters of character, and attitude is influenced by character. That is why the second point you had written, attitude has more to do with character, unlike aptitude, which has more to do with competence. So the new term has come up, aptitude, which is also a part of your syllabus. We'll learn about it later on. But aptitude, just know that aptitude has to do with competence. I'm sure you all know what aptitude is. I don't have to say it. You have an understanding of what aptitude is. But we will be going for the definition later on. Did you understand what is attitude? Yes, you understood it? Great. So, next, with regards to attitude, we'll be going with what we learned earlier. Why is attitude important or significant, or why you need an attitude? You remember that format? So, that's the next subtopic we'll be discussing. Importance of attitude. Now, remember those examples I told you to make, personal, professional. You can put that over here. Why attitude is important in personal life? Why attitude is important in professional life? Why attitude is important at a global level? Why attitude is important at a national level? Why attitude is important in government service? Simple 5 points. You don't have to struggle at all. Just find 5 points, your answer is done. Is 5 points sufficient? Do you know when the ethics exam? I told you it's part of mains, right? Do you have an understanding of the mains exam structure? 9 papers over 5 days, morning, afternoon, morning, afternoon, morning, afternoon, you will be writing. And ethics paper is the 5th paper, comes after 4 continuous papers. So you can imagine the condition of your hand. And the biggest task is completing your paper. The biggest task is completing your paper. Completing your paper with some standard content. Sometimes getting 5 points will get you service. I know you may find it a bit hard to believe, but don't worry, I'll show you some topper copies, people who scored in single digit ranks. Not 200, 300, single digit rank. I'll show the topper copy of the ethics paper. You look at it, you'll be like, "Itra Allah." That's it. That's more than enough to score in single digit. The problem is they are very good at writing answers like that. Each and every answer they will write properly like that. You will have an understanding of it when you write an answer today. You will realize how hard it is when you think of writing an ethics answer. It's okay, but we'll learn through it. Okay.